So, good morning and happy hump day, everybody. I hope everybody has a fantastic day today. We're going to speak about three players again this morning. Two of them were linked with moves away, one of them permanent, one of them loan, and the other one is linked with a move to Arsenal. So let's start off with the guy that is linked to Arsenal, and this is a guy we spoke about previously on here, and that is Tierney. Now, we've apparently identified this guy as our main target for left back position, and I think we could potentially see a bid going in the next couple of weeks. I think that although he's a Celtic legend up there right now, and he's already said once before that he wants to follow in footsteps of some of the Celtic greats, I think that he could genuinely be open to a move to Arsenal, you know. And the reason I say that is, firstly, the Premier League is more prestigious, it's a bigger league, it's a stronger league. But not only that, he is not the first choice left back at the Scotland international scene right now. And that is Robertson at Liverpool, who's taken that spot. And rightly so as well. Listen, Robertson's the best left back in the world, in my opinion. He fully deserves to be Scotland's #1 left back. But with that being said, Tierney could see himself maybe moving down to England, to Arsenal, and potentially trying to step up his levels a little bit. Listen, he's been at Celtic for as long as anyone can remember, and he's done fantastically well. The amount of games, the amount of goals and assists the guy gets from left back is nothing short of fantastic, hence why we are linked to him in the first place. Now, I've said previously on here that would cost in the region of about £30 million, and I fully think that that's an absolute bargain. I think that the guy would genuinely make us much better, not only going forward, but defensively. I think that defensively he'd be better than Kolasinac. I think that's a given. I think he'd be better than Nacho Monreal. He's got more athleticism than Monreal. He's obviously not as physical in terms of sheer size and power than Kolasinac, but he's more nimble. He can get around the pitch a lot quicker. And his end product is absolutely fantastic. And I know it's a lesser league, it's not a high-end league, I get that. But Robertson used to play in Scotland many moons ago. He then ended up going to Hull City, and they ended up getting relegated. He's now just won the Champions League and become the best left-back in the world. So maybe, just maybe, Tierney would see that as a challenge to him to try and stake a claim and get that left-back position in the Scotland squad back again. Obviously, the money would be better in terms of wages every week. The fee to Celtic would be very tempting because, listen, let's be real, their income isn't that fantastic. Yes, it's bigger than most teams or all the teams in Scotland, but it's not on par if they want to go and compete in European competitions. They've also got a Champions League qualifier coming up on around the 9th or 10th of July. So very soon, that is. They will then know by the return game of that on about the 17th of July, I think it is, whether they are playing European football in the Europa League or whether they qualify and get into the Champions League to the next round. Now, that could be massive in determining whether Tierney goes or not. Like I said, Unai Emery sees him as the #1 priority at left back. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know, would you take Tierney at Arsenal? I think this is going to drag on, to be honest with you, probably all summer. But who knows? Player number 2, and that is Granit Xhaka. Now, Granit Xhaka has been linked with a move to, out of all the clubs in the world, it's Atletico Madrid. Now, Atletico Madrid were in talks with Llorente from Real Madrid, not the one from Tottenham, and that midfielder is going to replace, or they thought he was going to replace, Rodri, who is their current midfielder, who is about to sign for Man City for around £63 million. I think that was his buyout clause. Now, Man City are obviously getting themselves a very good midfielder there, hence why they're spending £60 million out. Now, Llorente was seen to be the successor, the one to step into that berth and step into that position at Atletico Madrid. They're stumbling over a €10 million difference in where they estimate the player and how much he's worth. That's where Granit Xhaka comes in. I don't know whether this is a genuine attempt to get Granit Xhaka or whether it is actually something that maybe the club are using to say, well, look, if you don't want to sign for us, we're going to get him, and that speeds up the process of Llorente. So I'm not too sure, but there is a lot of outlets running with this since yesterday afternoon. It was only a couple in Spain. It is now absolutely everywhere. So we shall see what happens with that. But if it does go through, I will be over the moon. I don't rate Granit Xhaka. I've not rated him since he's been here, if I'm being completely honest. I don't get why we spent so much money on him. I don't get why he gets paid so much money every week. And he don't do it. He's never made me think, do you know what? Wow, that is a £35 million footballer at the top of his game right now. People who sit here and give me pass accuracy stats and ball recovery stats, don't want to hear it. At the end of the day, I've got two eyes, and my eyes tell me that that guy is an absolute liability. Nobody is surplus to requirements at this football club. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. Every single player at this club should be worried about being sold, because let's be real, after their last performance, that would be the fairest thing to do, is get rid of a whole lot of them, because that was embarrassing. But like I said, I'm not sure how true this story is, but I'm sure that if Granit Xhaka does go to Atletico Madrid for £40 million, there'll be an awful lot of happy Arsenal fans, because, like I said, he's a liability, and hopefully we'd go on and we would replace him. And I think there's plenty of players out there to replace him. Yesterday we spoke about Ndidi. I think it was the day before, actually, apologies. Day before, so Monday, we spoke about Wilfred Ndidi up at Leicester. Absolutely ideal replacement for this guy. And yes, he's under a big contract, Ndidi, but he would be absolutely fantastic to come in and sit next to Lucas Torreira. And automatically you're a little bit more rigid, I suppose, but automatically you are a lot stronger defensively as well as offensively. So, I don't know, leave that in the comments as well. Let me know, would you be open to selling Granit Xhaka to anybody, not just Atletico, but would you sell Granit Xhaka? Last but by no means least, and this is a young kid, Eddie Nketiah. He is linked with a loan move to newly promoted Championship side, Charlton Athletic. Now, Lee Bowyer has just signed a new contract for them as their manager. He's done fantastic to do what he's done with them and get them into the Championship. Now, they're looking to take him on a loan, and personally, I am all for this. I think it'd be great for him. I think it'd be great for Charlton, and I think it'd be great for Arsenal as well, if I'm being completely honest. Because let's be honest, he's not gonna get a game every single week for Arsenal. He's gonna come on and fit some spurts here and there, 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there. So I think that by loaning him out, not only do you give him that experience of week in, week out football against big, strong guys, rather than kids around his age in the youth setup, you're giving him that experience to make him a better footballer, to make him grow as a player. And Charlton are getting themselves a decent kid here, let's be real. He is a very good footballer. His youth record is ridiculous, not just at Arsenal, but when he was at Chelsea as well. The stats back it up in terms of goals. It is phenomenal, some of the goals this guy scores. But on the flip side of that, is that going to be his level? Because it's a big season if he goes on loan there and he doesn't really cut it, if that makes sense. He doesn't do what Arsenal have sent him out on loan to do. So that could end up then being his level. So there's risk and reward to this. It could be great and we could end up getting a great player come back and he can slot straight into the first team. Or we end up selling him for a couple of £1 million and he goes and plays for Charlton full time. So I don't know, it's a 50-50, but I do genuinely think it'd be a great move for him this season coming up. I think that he needs to go and play football. Listen, the kid's good enough to play football somewhere. Whether that is at Arsenal long term, I'm not so sure. I haven't seen enough of him in the first team to literally say one way or the other. But I think that this would be a great move for him. And like I said, for Charlton as well, they're obviously going to try and stay in the Championship. And this could bolster their attack line. They're going to need goals. I think they're doing the right thing at looking at Eddie Nketiah. Leave it all in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think about all three of them. I will be back later on this afternoon, 5 o'clock this evening, doing a live stream. I'll pick a player out we're linked with, go through whether we're going to sign him or whether we're not going to sign him, and just give my thoughts and opinions on it. Smash the like button. Appreciate all the love I get, and subscribe if you're new. Well over 18k now, so let's move it up to 19. Thanks very much. I'll be back at 5 PM. Laters, peeps.